The Patriotic Trini resistance against the Chinese arch. Take one.
Here, morning Trinidad and Tobago, and more to Trinidad. You see this picture here? This is a picture of a young Eric Williams, the father of the nation. Now, this man, he have a lot of love for the Chinese people. But I think he get married to two Chinese women. He get married to two Chinese women, and during his time as Prime Minister, he went to China, and we had a visit from one of the Chinese leaders in Trinidad and so on. So this man had a lot of love for Chinese. I think maybe he was concerned about the discipline of the Chinese, because the Chinese people are very disciplined people, hardworking, very, very disciplined. Some of the hardest working people on the face of the earth. As a matter of fact, they are some of the best students on the face of the earth. But they make the worst teachers because they don't show nobody nothing. Now we have a situation in Trinidad here right now where the mayor of Port of Spain put up an arch on Charlotte Street. And he's saying now that this is a twinning to Shanghai. And there was some consultation, and the consultation was poorly attended sometime last year, and he put up this arch and is twinning with China. Ladies and gentlemen, Trinidad and Tobago, especially Trinidad, young Trinidad, you see this nonsense the mayor is talking, this foolishness, and we must reject that. Now this arch that he put up there, that is really something, it's a signal to the people in China that they could come to Trinidad and they will have a place to sell their goods unmolested. This man has made a Chinatown in Trinidad. Now, if you do the history and the research of Chinatown, how Chinatown come about, wherever the Chinese people go up and they emigrate to any country in the world, after a while, it has so much of Chinese people there, because you know the Chinese like trading. It has so much of people there that eventually the place will become a Chinatown. And everybody calls it a Chinatown, and then it went by their name, Chinatown, and they might put a sign. What is happening on Charlotte Street right now is not that. The amount of different businesses it have on Chinatown, on Charlotte Street, it does not bear any resemblance to any Chinatown. This is what you call cultural hegemony. It's a cultural imposition. The mayor of Port of Spain has given the Chinese people an unfair advantage. He is actually creating a Chinatown when they don't have one. Now what the arch she put up? The arch, you look at the arch is in the drains, is on the two sides of the drain. The Minister of Works always talking about people building on the riverbank. This man allowed two big structures to be installed on Charlotte Street, 4 stories high, in the drain. Port of Spain don't have a flooding problem. So when the rains come down and all this stuff and things start to pile up on these 2 columns, what is going to happen? Who's going to be cleaning that? Ladies and gentlemen, do not be fooled. Do not be fooled by the rhetoric. Do not be fooled by the nonsense from the mayor. Right? That arch, that fake Chinatown have to go. You look at the spelling, it's 2 separate words, China and Town. When the firestorm started and people started to say, well, no, it can't be Chinatown, it's Chinatown, he decided he's going to change it and make it into Chinatown. Again, ladies and gentlemen, do not be fooled. This man is trying to take you all for fools. These people know exactly what they did. If you look at the size of the arch, what you structure, what your money spent, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars. They wouldn't make a mistake like that. These people know that they're looking to make a new town and take over Charlotte Street. As I said, this is a beacon to the people in China that they will come to Trinidad and sell their goods unmolested. They have no problem. African people now had to be running helter-skelter from the city police, because the city police on certain days grabbing up the goods and putting it in the back of the police van and charging them, and they had to pay in court because they can't sell it to them. But this man is sending a message to China. They always send all the vendors. What's happening in the world? You can't turn a blind eye to what's happening. You cannot turn a blind eye to how the Chinese people behaving. These Chinese people is on the hunt for resources. They're going all over the world. They have a Belt and Road Initiative. They're looking to get resources because the population growing. The population is over 1 billion people. When the mayor say that he twinning Port of Spain with Shanghai, again, nonsense. This is foolishness. How it is you could twin little Port of Spain with this Chinese city, Shanghai, with millions of people in it. Let Shanghai go and twin with San Francisco or London. If you twinning Port of Spain with Shanghai, show me an arch in Shanghai, just like what they put up on Charlotte Street. Show me an arch where it mark Trinidad tongue, and you could go and buy a steel pan, or you could go and buy tulum, or you could go and buy goods coming out of Trinidad and Tobago in Shanghai. The people in Shanghai don't even know. They don't even know it have a place called Trinidad. They don't even know. This here is a sellout. Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor have to go. He must resign. I'm calling on the Attorney General and the DPP to investigate this man. In 1797, the British came in Trinidad and Tobago, and the last governor was Chacon. The British come and take over. They just walk in Charamas and take over the island. The Spanish didn't even put up no resistance. The Spanish governor Chacon had to be taken and tried in Spain for failing to put up a resistance to the takeover of Trinidad. What we have here is a sellout of this country. It's the beginning of the sellout, and we must resist that. We must resist the new colonial masters. These Chinese people, they coming in here. The Chinese people are nice people. The Chinese people, as I said, they are the best students in the world. They learn. They don't cause any problem. They come to Trinidad. They're not any vagrants. They're not a strain on the economy. They don't march and quarrel for jobs. But watch what they do. They are some of the most selfish people on the face of the earth. They don't share nothing. And if you don't believe me, if you have a Chinese friend, go and ask them to show you how to make fried rice or chow mein. They will never show you. Ask them to show you how to make some Chinese delicacy. They would never show you. They keep all the things secret. But we have a mayor, this so-called mayor, looking to give away Charlotte Street. This is not what we want. We cannot develop the nation like that. We cannot develop the Caribbean like that. If anything had happened to Charlotte Street, you had to name that Africa Town. You had to name it Tubal Uriah Butler Town, Eric Williams Town, Marcus Garvey Town. You had to show the world that we here have a strong, dedicated, dignified people. And we have our goods for sale on Charlotte Street, instead of having African people running all over the place. African people make a lot of sacrifice in this country, all in town. Check the water riots. Check the riots when the African people burned down the Red House in 1913. Check the 1970 when 20,000 people hook up in Woodford Square to listen to Geddes Granger, marching up and down because African people want rights. We have a mayor, Portuguese, Chinese, we don't know what kind of descent he is, but we have a mayor looking to give away Charlotte Street to the Chinese. We had to put a stop to that, ladies and gentlemen. You must resist that. Those arches have to come down. We do not want them arches here. We do not want those arches here. The mayor come and say he putting up a big screen TV in Woodford Square. Like propaganda. That's a fool people to go into Woodford Square and watch Chinese movies. They're trying to mama guy people and make people docile and give up the country. This is not what we want. Woodford Square 30 years ago used Woodford Square 30 years ago used to be a place where you could go and get all kind of lively debate and hear people talk. But you ain't getting that again. The man would have put up a screen so people could just go up there and watch Chinese movie. And just as what they're doing in China with the Uyghur Muslims, they're brainwashing them because they want all the people in China to follow the same ideology. What's happening in Hong Kong? As I speak right now, we have marches in Hong Kong. The people in Hong Kong do not want the imposition and the regulations that the Chinese people want to bring in Hong Kong, and they fight months of fighting against that. We here now opening up Charlotte Street and giving them a tongue. That is madness. Ladies and gentlemen, this madness have to stop. What the Chinese people buying up all Nelson Street, all Charlotte, all them vacant properties there. The Chinese people opening groceries, they're coming down and taking over. Just now it will hardly have any African people in town because the African, they call that gentrification. The African people getting pushed back and the Chinese people slowly coming in. Nobody could tell me about it. I used to work the immigration. I used to work in the immigration department and I know how the Chinese people used to be cycling Chinese people in and out because I can't tell the difference. All of them look the same. So I know about the racket 30 something years ago. The government recognized it and they kind of put a kind of clamp down on it. But it's still happening. The Chinese people have a free sheet, unmolested. And this nonsense have to stop. If you want to twin Shanghai with Port of Spain, let the Chinese merchants come in here and show some of them African youths how to make pins and bring some of them machines and make zips and all them, make pencils and all them little machines. And let the people work just as how they do in China. Don't just open up a whole street and let ultimately Chinese people come and take over the place. What is happening on Charlotte Street right now with the kind of businesses there is not a reflection of what the mayor intends to do. The mayor intends to make that a Chinatown and it's not a Chinatown. He intends to make it into something that is not. And it has several different other businesses there. It have Indian businesses there, it have Syrian business, it have African people, small traders. Open up the place, make it a Caribbean town. Put a statue of Butler, put a statue of Marcus Garvey, put a statue of Eric Williams. Let people know that this is a Caribbean town, not a Chinatown. You're trying to create a Chinatown and that is wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to fight against that. We must stop it. It must not stand. We must resist it. We do not want those arches in Trinidad. We do not want it there. It have to come down. It have to come down. Those arches much go. Arches are a serious thing, you know. You go in France. It has something called the Arc de Triomphe. This is when Napoleon commissioned that arch as a symbol for all the victories he had against different countries. In Germany, you have the Brandenburg Gates, but what we have in Trinidad, a Chinese arch with dragons in it, and 6 dragons on each side of it. When he now was in power, they forced Robinson to take down the dragon of the Red House. Now we had a pass under an arch with a set of dragons in it, cultural insensitivity, and everybody had to stay quiet. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot allow that. We cannot allow that.